Okay, let's do not exactly an unboxing, but maybe an unveiling or thematically an unfurling. It's been a while since we talked about Broken Compass, so it's definitely time to rectify that error. About a year ago, I did an unboxing video for the rewards from the first English Broken Compass Kickstarter. And that launched us into a pretty exciting exploration of the game, its settings and systems. And we did an actual play series on the channel, which you can take a look at up there. Now, recently, I was very fortunate to be among the first people to receive the rewards from the second Kickstarter. And we've already done an unboxing of those rewards, and you can also take a look at those up there. But I wanted to pay special and specific attention to each of the items in that second set of rewards, because there are some people who, because of the pandemic and the way that international shipping has changed, who are still waiting for their rewards. So I thought we could space these out a little bit. Now, I've got some co-hosts in this video today because they've all decided that they are sea dogs. Why would that be relevant, and what does that have to do with Broken Compass? Well, the specific focus that we're going to pay today is to the season 2 set of ideas for Broken Compass, the Jolly Roger season. So I'm going to take the shrink wrap off of it, and even though we have digital versions for the Kickstarter backers, and the digital version, of course, is available on Drive-Thru RPG and that sort of thing as we come near to the end of the Kickstarter campaign. But for those people who are wondering what's coming in the mail, or those who are hoping to be able to get the physical products, that's who this video is for. So I need to put this guy down so that we can take the shrink wrap off of season 2 for Jolly Roger. Let's see if everybody will cooperate and we can get through this video. I hesitate to say quickly, but I'm going to say quickly because I'm in a daring and adventurous frame of mind. For those who are unfamiliar with Broken Compass, let's do a very quick overview. The system, called the Fortune system, has a luck element where players have a luck coin that they can risk, not necessarily spend, but risk spending on improving their situation. It uses small pools of D6s, and you roll looking for matches. You might get 2 of a kind, or 3 of a kind, or 4 of a kind, or nearly impossibly 5 of a kind. And you might have combinations of those, like 2 of a kind and 3 of a kind, that you can decide how to allocate to what it is that you're trying to do. It's very quick. It reminds some people of Yahtzee. So people with experience with that game already have the built-in skill of searching for the kind of combinations that they're looking for. So a whole lot of fun. It's very quick. And each of the different seasons brings along with it some additional rules to enhance the feel of a particular genre. So today's video, we're looking at Jolly Roger, a pirate theme. All right, so at long last, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for just this moment and sharing this moment with you. We'll take the shrink wrap off season 2, Jolly Roger. Like all of the products, this one begins with a before we begin section to carefully frame how we should interpret this material. Now, obviously, piracy is filled with violence. It's a very dark and brutal history. There are, atrocious acts, and there are things which are done which no right-thinking individual can condone. But at the same time, movies and fiction have turned this type of character into a romantic one. And me personally, I grew up in Nova Scotia, Canada, which is rife with stories of privateers. And my formative years were spent living in a very small fishing community, which had this legendary ghost ship, the teaser, or the young teaser, actually, and that thinking that on foggy nights in July it would sail into Mahone Bay and explode. There is this romantic notion. This same location is just a short drive down the road from the very famous Oak Island and its legends of buried pirate treasure. So, as a part of my cultural identity, the notion of sailing the seas and depriving the enemy of their ability to wage war on you in this very specific way is something of a romantic notion, while not rejecting or being unaware of the fact that piracy on the high seas is an atrocious and unforgivable act. So it's a very compelling and layered subject matter to get into. We're focusing on the golden age of piracy. We're focusing on the idea that maybe in this particular story, such as we find in Pirates of the Caribbean, perhaps our less than honest main characters might actually be more in the right than those they oppose. So up front, they let you know how to take a look at all of this and move you into having fun with the subject matter, buried treasure and sailing on the high seas, and both evading capture and outwitting your opponent and living to evade your opponent and defeat or trick or overcome your enemy on another day. As you can see, the book is full color and engagingly laid out in a sense that feels like you're getting to look at someone's notebook. The physical product, as we've already seen, has a leather feels hardcover, and again carries this notion that you're taking down something off of the ship's captain's shelf, or taking it out of his private papers, this kind of thing. And it's in all senses of the word an immersive experience to get into this text. In the same way that the original core rules of Broken Compass, with their leathery feel and their inspirational pencil with its elastic holder and its elastic drawstring on the side, in the way that this sparked all that pulp excitement just by its textures, Jolly Roger takes us into the golden age of piracy through its art, through its charts, through its blood red or crimson bookmark. It's very easy to convert what you've done with Broken Compass, or simply just start with Jolly Roger if that's your thing. Using the excellent table of contents at the beginning, where the book is divided up into 6 sections, or I guess using the blood red bookmark, you can easily navigate through the text. Also, the PDF is fully bookmarked, so that's nigh on essential and certainly handy in this day and age. But this book is so well laid out that you'll find that reading it from start to finish, or leaping around following your interests, will serve you well. What is in the book? Well, section 1 is your welcome and your expectation setting history section: the golden age of piracy, under the black flag, adventurers of the Caribbean, a place to call home, women on board, and new tags. The system uses tags to describe what characters are, as well as a numerical feature for the number of dice that you'll be rolling. So section 1 is setting expectations and getting you into what is exciting and vital and adventurous about this notion of piracy. Section number 2 is setting information. So the Caribbean, cities of the Caribbean, armies of the Caribbean, the slave trade, technology, wealth, treasures, and extras. Section 3, pirates, the pirate's life and the pirate's code. Section 4 is where we get into the specific rules that make this different from the 1930s and 1990s action movie vibe of the original Broken Compass. All right, so that gives us the rules of the sea, in other words. So setting up challenges for the ship, different crew actions, ship dangers, random sections for determining accidental outcomes of things, such as shipwrecks. There's naval combat and different roles on the ships and that sort of thing. Plus, there's a very cool section on sea shanties, which made me laugh. Now, I've mentioned earlier in this video that I grew up in Atlantic Canada. And of course, that means I was exposed to the incredibly talented Stan Rogers, who recreated in modern times an incredibly infectious and singable and now famous sea shanty, Barrett's Privateers. And if you know anyone from possibly all of Canada now, but certainly from Atlantic Canada, they are undoubtedly able to sing for you the entirety of Barrett's Privateers. If you want to know where Sherbrooke is, it's not very far from where I grew up. So that kind of thing. For me, if I were to run a campaign of Jolly Roger, I feel it would be almost impossible to resist the urge to create a campaign around the notion of Barrett's Privateers, right? When a letter of marque came from the king to the scummiest vessel I'd ever seen. So obviously, it's exciting and inspiring and full of little details and big details, exciting characters and unusual characters that fire the imagination and get you ready to play. And you can expect more of this level of creativity from the designers who've put this all together, Two Little Mice. They have an incredible kind of 1-2 punch of, except there's a hidden punch in there as well, right? That you weren't expecting. You know that you're going to get hit by the infectious writing. You know you're going to get walloped by the incredible art, but also the system sneaks in a low blow and grabs you and says, you know what? This is fun and it's easy. It's infectious. People can learn it really quickly and you're off to the races and not looking back. So Broken Compass, a great deal of fun. Jolly Roger ramps up the fun and sends it off in a different direction, as do each of these season guides. So the next one we're going to look at in a different video is Voyage Extraordinaire, but we'll talk about it in its time. Until then, take care.